don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right, I watched the movie Thai Massage, and I'm gonna say I didn't really care for it. I mean, I understand the premise of it, because in the beginning, I just didn't like how his main objective was to sleep with someone. And I'm like, okay, he's been alone for 20-something years, and then they introduced that his wife just passed away the year prior, and I'm like, find a hobby. I mean, you want to be able to be happy and content with what you're doing in life, to where even if you're retired, to where you don't care about that sort of thing. I mean, sure, he hadn't had it in 20-something years, but in the end, if you're happy in life, and yes, he did love his wife, so he never did anything against her will, but at the same time, he obviously had joy in life, and then he gets unhappy and then decides, just all those little things, just, it wasn't funny to me. I mean, I think they tried to make it funny and tried to make it serious at the same time, but both ways, I just felt like he was being used, and he was unhappy with himself, so he thought that would make him happy. I was just like, all for the very end of the movie to get to what I said at the very beginning when I saw it. It was just like, he's just unhappy with himself. He's just unhappy with himself. And then he finds joy in traveling. He finds something, he finds a reason for himself. He doesn't need that, the boom boom. He just needed to have a hobby. Like for me, I enjoy what I do. I mean, I have a full-time job on top of this, but I do this because I enjoy this. I have fun with this. I feel like I can make myself a complete retard in the public eye, because I know nothing about most things, and I don't mind making a fool of myself, because you all constantly correct me on every little detail, and I'll fixate on like the one down thing, and it's just like I enjoy being not really corrected, but learning more, because everyone who knows more than me will correct me on things, and I enjoy that. I enjoy learning through my stupidity, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Yeah, but it's just like, I was aggravated because here was this guy who just needed a hobby, and they were making it about, oh, he needs to smash, oh, his family found out that he's because apparently it's past the part. The movie starts with him already have gone to Bangkok, and it's just like, okay. And then they do flashbacks, and I was confused at the beginning, because I'm just like, is his family trying to get him there? And then he comes across this guy who's literally having fun at his expense, basically being the only person he can lean on, as this guy is laughing about it with his friends, that this old man is trying to get some in Bangkok. And it's just like, the entire film just felt sad to me, because here this old man is literally doesn't like his life. He is unhappy with his life and can't find a hobby, because apparently it's expected of him. And the only thing that really made sense at the very end was the where he's basically talking about how we respect and we respect and honor people to the point where they become gods, that we forget that they're human. And I'm like, well, not an issue here. Because it's I guess it's a cultural thing, and which honestly makes sense, but for me, it was just like, from the very beginning, I was like, he's a human being, it's what he does, and that's where I was coming at it from. I was coming at it from the fact that he's a human being. I mean, he needs to find a hobby. But he's expected, so much more is expected of him. The fact that he's afraid of his own son, because his son was afraid of him growing up, and then he's afraid of his son because now he's this huge pinnacle of respect and honor that he can't fault, and he lies to his family when he's never lied to them before. And it's just like, all this stuff is just cultural based. So I can understand that aspect. I can understand why it made no sense to me, because it's all cultural based. Maybe the humor is there. It's just, for a foreigner watching this movie, it's not. I mean, because I don't know. I've been to Thailand, but I went there for a wedding. I had no clue that that's what people went there for, and this movie's trying to make it seem as if that's what people go there for. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I have no clue. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know much about the world or that aspect of the world. I would never travel anywhere to do something like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It sounds barbaric, because you hear about stories like that with like the military doing things like that, or just like unfaithful swines who do things like that. But it just never made sense to me. It's just like, I've always been of the mind, if you commit to someone, you're committed to them. Kind of like how this guy was at the very beginning of the film, For 21 years, his wife lay bedridden, dying slowly, and he was faithful to her. I mean, that's just, that feels amazing. That was so heart-wrenching. And then a year later, he wants to go to just sleep with anyone. And I'm just like, this defeats the purpose of what you just established. You said how much you loved her, how much you cared for her. That memory alone should keep you going, but it just felt like it went back on its own what it had just said. I was thinking his wife died 20-something years prior, and then he's just like, she just died. I feel heart-wrenched. I feel broken. I was committed to her. I watched her die. It's like, that hurts to hear. And then he's like, now I want to smash someone. I'm losing my functionality. It just, yeah. I hope you don't get mad at me for this, but you see where I'm coming from. It seemed a bit hypocritical, that one line, but it was gut-wrenching, the fact that he was committed to her for 21 years, even though she lay bedridden for those 21 years. He had his kids, and then no action from then on as he took care of her. And it's just like, it feels amazing to hear that. And then finally she passes on, and he's thinking of that activity, just like, I don't know, it's not important, it's not necessary. Life can function without it. It's never been, it's just a biological aspect that we do to exceed our lineage. And he already had that. He had like two sons, one daughter, or one son, two daughters. I don't know. They had the entire family there, son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. So I'm not entirely sure. I think it was two sons, one daughter. Yeah. So it's just one of those things that, for me, I've always seen it as just a biological component that is used to preserve your lineage, or to continue your line. Other than that, it serves no functionality. But then again, I've always been kind of weird when it comes to that sort of content, or that sort of aspect, or that sort of, I don't really know much. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope I didn't anger anyone about it, but it must be a cultural thing. It must be, because I could see that with the fact that it was about respect and honor, and that is heavily non-existent here. I mean, I love my parents. I respect them. Yeah, but if my parents are wrong about something, I'll tell them they're wrong about something. There's no absolute. My parents know that too. I mean, with the day and age we're in, there's no one can know everything about anything. Even like my parents will even tell us about how they could have gone better with parenting. I mean, but that's the thing. It's kids having kids. You see that more here in the US than you do anywhere else, but it's kids having kids. No matter how old or mature you are, when you have a kid, you have no clue what you're doing. You will ask your parents, you'll seek advice from everywhere, and no one knows how to raise a child. Let's just say that. But you know what? I went way off topic. Thai massage, it's not really a movie for me. I guess it's more, I guess if someone finds it funny, the whole aspect of, sleeping around and things like that, maybe it's for them, but this definitely not for me, because even if the woman I loved more than anything passed on, I would take joy in my hobbies. I would take joy in everything else immediately. I would go do recording more. I do writing more. I do so many drawing more. I would do everything more because, first of all, at that point in time, I'd expect to be retired, and I wouldn't be able to spend time with her. So I'd lose myself in those things as a way to remember her. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed Thai massage. It's not one for me, but I did watch it. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.